today we are 25 days into the month of March. And we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot of things about games that I need to inform you about. But in particular, let's start off talking about Game Informer. And also, clap me up, that was fire. Clap me up. Also, I forgot to turn my filters on. So equalizer, turn this down to 50. Now, let's drop that flex bomb one more time. That was fire. This time, I didn't take mad long to get into the video. None of that. But to give you a short summary, for those of you who don't know, there's a gaming publication that was out for a very long time. They did a lot of good work in the gaming space in terms of reporting and telling people about gaming news very early. Like, Game Informer is the reason why I found out about Fortnite in like 2015, 2016. A while before it came out, a while before it got popular. Game Informer put me on to a lot of banger ass games. And if you're been a part of the gaming community for a very long time, you know exactly who Game Informer is, and it was sad to see them go. But apparently they're back, and it's all the same staff. Now, in terms of the specifics, I don't know, but they have a 3-minute video that we about to watch and get into.
Game Informer is back, and so is 100% of the team.
100?
Bringing you Game Informer when we shut down this past summer.
That means
that's fine.
Design, video, editorial, everybody. Everything you loved about.
You know what's one good side effect of this shutdown? Now that they have like had a great spike in press and that they're coming back, maybe now their social media presence will be a bit better, because like in my opinion, that was one of Game Informer's weakest things. They were kind of stuck in the times in terms of the way they were delivering news. They were mostly focused on their paper magazine in like 2020, 2024, and it's like that's cool and all for the aesthetic, but it's like business wise, y'all should focus on y'all digital offerings and make that just a thing you do on the side at this point, and make it like a collector's thing and focus on the digital thing. But they're back, their staff is coming back, and I'm glad to see it, because there was a lot of people who are good journalists who work for Game Informer despite it being owned by shitty ass GameStop. Now, my biggest question is, are they still owned by GameStop or are they independent? Because if they're still owned by GameStop is broke and Game Informer doesn't make them money like directly. So in terms of that, it's like, what will stop GameStop from going in 2 months going, y'all put out 2 issues that made no money and we already making no money, so unplug those mics, unplug those keyboard, wrap it up again. That's my main question.
About Game Informer before is coming back, but we're rethinking it and evolving it to be bigger and better. Game Informer has been around since...
Yo, what if they did all this as a stunt? Huh? Oh wait, I pressed the wrong button. Never mind, bro.
1991, and yes, we were blipped out of existence for a couple months here, but we're back, and I'm really excited to pick up where we left off and ramp things up to be even better.
Of course, we were devastated when Game Informer shut down this past summer because we loved working together as a team. But the thing that came as a shock was the outpouring of support and enthusiasm that came from you as readers and from people around the industry.
Oh, Jake works for Game Informer? Is that a thing?
Enthusiasm that came from
I fucked with some of his reviews.
People around the industry for what Game Informer had meant to them.
Yeah.
I personally received messages from people who talked about growing up reading Game Informer and being
factual. And I wish I had them. I wish I had the magazine still. But like, I grew up reading Game Informer, and I remember for a time when I had a GameStop membership, and when my pops had one at different times, I used to actually receive Game Informers in the mail during like the 2010s. So like, that joint was cool, and whenever you went to a doctor's office, you knew the doctor's office was lit. If as a jittery, you seen a Game Informer magazine or a couple Game Informer magazines on the table, oh, you knew it was lit. Then especially, you knew it was lit because if you went to a doctor's office or something like that, and you saw Game Informers on the table, it never had the business name. It always had the name of somebody who like just worked there and brought them bitches in when it was done reading it.
In that magazine in their mailbox every month. What that meant for them, and we felt that that meant something, and that it was something that was worth trying to fight for and preserve. So that's what we did.
If you unfollowed us on all our platforms like YouTube or Blue Sky or Instagram, I don't
have a
believe
Blue Sky?
disappear. But we have the keys back to all those accounts. They're active again, so go hit those follow buttons.
Are y'all independent? That's my question.
Including an all-new approach to Game Informer magazine, both in print and digital forms.
If they don't exclusively specifically mention that they're independent from GameStop, I'm gonna assume that they're with GameStop, and like I said, that's a scary thing to think about, because what the hell is stopping you from shutting your doors again?
The short version is that Gunzilla Games purchased Game Informer. Game Informer now Game Informer Inc.
Yes, sir! So what probably happened is they shut down while they was selling the company, while they was like trading over the company and the assets and all that stuff. That's probably what happened, why they actually shut it for a couple months. Either that, or this company just either saw a lot of worth in this brand, or one of the heads of that brand had a lot of emotional attachment, said, come over here, I'll revive you, fuck nigga.
Editorial independence has been foundational for Game Informer ever since it was started back in the 90s, and it will continue to be a sacred element of our operation going forward.
All of Game Informer's editorial content is 100% selected by our editorial team without any outside influence, including from the new owners. In fact, editorial integrity is something the new owners insisted upon as strongly as we did. Our team today considers ourselves stewards of this legacy of Game Informer built up over 30 years.
I love to see it, man. They're more independent.
Good fortune to work with dozens of talented individuals who've come through over the 20 years I've been with the company.
Yeah, because for those of y'all who are a bit on the younger side who don't know, like, if you were in the game development space, or like in the gaming space period, one of the coolest things that could happen is you being a Game Informer. Like, I remember like 2015, like around them times, if you was a YouTuber that did anything about video games and you got in a Game Informer, that meant a lot, because print magazine was dying. So for them to put you in an issue, that means they really looked at you as like an important figure in the space, and not just another giggity goo. Hey guys, how you doing? We're back here for another Minecraft tutorial. Like, you weren't just another indisposable creator. You were a creator people actually valued and knew by name.
And see the way that they shaped and defined what Game Informer is all about.
Stay tuned in the coming months for more information about the relaunch of our physical magazine. But in the meantime, you can go to GameInformer.com right now and
Y'all still got the GameStop deal?
reviews of games that came out while we were shut down.
Ooh.
You can find our 2024 Game of the Year awards on GameInformer.com right now. We didn't want this little gap in Game Informer history.
I ain't reading that till next year.
The year of 2024. And we also just really missed arguing with each other.
We can't wait to bring Game Informer magazine back
I can't wait to see that April issue.
bigger and better than it was before, and continue to people who make games and the people who play games from all around the world. More robust membership and subscription offers are on the way in the coming weeks, but if you'd like to support Game Informer right now, you can sign up for early benefits today.
Thank you so much for watching this video and for your continued support of Game Informer. We are so glad to be back.
We are glad to have you back in the gaming space. I love to see it. Now they're an independent company. Now they have less input from GameStop, and now maybe they'll be able to have like some actual offerings that fucking matter, because GameStop, we know good goddamn well that when they were working with GameStop, as I said last time, and as I will keep saying again and again, GameStop is broke. That's probably part of the reason why they sold Game Informer, because Game Informer probably doesn't make a lot of money for them in general, and Game Informer socials aren't doing too hot. Like, they have 2 million followers, and for a brand account of Game Informer's size, and for how long Game Informer's been around, like, when did they create their account? In 2009. It should definitely have more than 2 million followers, like 5-6 million. Like, I think Dexterito, for example, has like 5 million. Let me see. I could be overvaluing them. Let me see. I mean, they post random shit. Oh, they only have 1 million. Okay, so maybe they're in the ballpark they should be, and I was just asleep. Maybe, but I'm definitely adding them to my gaming news list. Because I legitimately didn't know they had a social. What the fuck? Yeah, there we go. Save. Maybe I'll see an article or two from them. That'll be fire. That being said, something that I find funny. Hold on. Something that I think is on fire are the wallets of PlayStation gamers. Because PlayStation ponies swear to God that they got all the greatest games. But time after time again, we have evidence that PlayStation players are fucking stupid. They want to play Xbox games. I don't know why the hell you bought a PlayStation to play Xbox games, but it looks like that's what they're doing. Because another time, again, Armed and Dangerous, again, Xbox owned games are topping PlayStation sales charts. Let's read it. Let's read the synopsis a little bit. Xbox owned titles are dominating PlayStation Store pre-orders, showcasing that Microsoft's shift away from console exclusivity. PlayStation users account for a huge percentage of recent spending on Xbox titles. You know why? Because Xbox ain't selling Xboxes. That's the reason why that Xbox Everywhere campaign matters. You think in the Xbox 360 era, if the infrastructure and the player base was active enough for them to put their games on PC, you think they would have did that in the Xbox 360 era? No. They definitely wouldn't have. In case you actually don't know and you need a response, no, they wouldn't have. You think they would have did that in the Xbox OG era? Hell no. You think they would have did that in the Xbox One era? Yeah, but they were a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Not negligent, but like they had hubris. They thought they were gonna do greater than they really did. That Xbox One generation really humbled the brakes off of Microsoft because like it made them realize like, oh, Xbox just doesn't print money by existing. That whole always connected to the internet entertainment system console thing. Like, yeah, they were forward thinking in that, but they were forward thinking in the wrong ways. Nobody wanted to watch cable while they was playing Gears of War. Nobody wanted to play Gears of War and hear in the background while they're trying to watch the gosh darn news forecast. No, nobody cared. So that whole Xbox One generation humbled them and made it so that this generation, they don't care about the Xbox. They don't care. PlayStation users account for a huge percentage of that. Oh yeah, more people just have PlayStations. And the ratio is something like 3-to-1. Like for every 3 PlayStation owners is 1 Xbox owner. Helping to make Microsoft one of the top publishers on Sony's platform. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Forza 5, and Doom the Dark Age are among the most pre-ordered games on the PlayStation Store, which are 3 Bethesda, different studio, and Bethesda, id Software really, but Bethesda games coming to other platforms. You know, when Microsoft first brought Bethesda, I was really worried that they were gonna lock all their games as like timed exclusives to Xbox. Looks like that's not the case, and looks like niggas that use PlayStations and swear to God that PlayStation is the greatest thing ever. And I'm not talking about people who own a PlayStation, because I own a PlayStation, okay? I'm talking about delusional niggas, weird niggas that swear to God that PlayStation makes all the greatest games, that nothing else besides a PlayStation can have a good game come to it. My nigga, you are dick riding. Get off this company's dick. That's the real moral story. That's the real moral story. Stop dick riding companies, people. Anyway, let's dick ride a company and discuss some rumors about Nintendo and how their Switch 2 will reportedly launch in June with an emphasis on first-party games. Now, I'm thinking that somebody released a big rumor, some big news. 1 second. I'm still in the process of getting over that sore throat pause. So like a lot of mucus is coming up on my body because the menthol halls with that cigarette chemicals just making all that shit out my body. Anyway, I'm thinking a lot of these articles are following the same rumor or the same report because I saw like 10 headlines about this. But anyway, according to Insider Gaming, Nintendo is planning to release the Switch 2 in June with a multi-phase rollout that would see the release strategy around Switch 2 games shift from first party to third party as the year progresses. That's usually what they do, so that makes sense. This includes things like Mario Kart 9 or a new 3D Mario in the summer launch window, followed by multi-platform ports or other third-party releases in the fall. IG reports that media and content creators will go hands-on with the device in some of its games in early April. Well, yeah, they did promise that with the whole Switch event attendance thing. The reporting is vague as far as details go. Yeah, that sounds very Insider Gaming. They don't give you no goddamn details. They just tell you vague ideas and say figure it out and take it on the hop, because they're meant. I understand why. It's because their website are meant for you niggas that can't read past the 6th grade level. It's meant for you niggas that go, the reporting is vaggy as far as they tiles vagui as far as the tiles goo. The reporting is vagui as far as they tiles go. It's meant for niggas who read those type of speeds and who just can't read, so they keep their articles nice and short so that it's easier to read. They don't want to smack you with a wall of text. But that is both a strength and a weakness. It's a strength because it gets more people to read their articles, and it's a weakness because when you actually want to, like, you know, want more details about something they're talking about in their articles, like I said, you just gotta take it on the hop and look somewhere else. The reporting is vague as far as details go, but the June launch window lines up with predictions by analysts and others and will give the Switch 2 time to build up some momentum before GTA 6 hits in the fall, followed by the holiday onslaught. I don't know why the hell GTA 6 matters to the Switch 2. Like, if it ain't coming to Switch 2, I don't understand why they would want to drop it before GTA 6 comes out. So I'm assuming that day one, we're going to get a Mortal Kombat 1 situation with GTA 6 on Switch, because I know Nintendo missed out on a lot of money by not dropping GTA 5 on Switch, which, let me look it up. I know this is a dummy tab. Is GTA, because I don't even think the Switch can handle it. It's GTA 5 on Switch. That's not an answer to my question. GTA Trilogy, of course it could run these fucking 10 and 15-year-old games. Nigga, $50 for some 15-year-old games that you could play on your phone for fucking free if you know where to go and download it at? The fuck? I don't think so. Oh, yep. r/gaming. Why did GTA 5 never release on the Switch a year ago? And if it ain't released on the Switch now, it's never releasing on Switch. Yo, I am so glad that is just a dummy tab that I had for memes, because I could have clicked on that and I could have went real bad. Anyway, big questions around pricing and the launch lineup remain, but seem like things will likely get answers to during next week's Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. I heard that, I remember seeing a report that they said that, oh no, that's a February one. Right. No, the April one is supposed to be about the Switch 2. So we'll see. Rumors have also been circulating. Okay, Reddit and then Insider Gaming. So it's Reddit. Now we're getting into the part where we're talking about rumors. And what I always say when we talk about rumors is treat like all of this like it's false and that we're talking about it for giggles and shits. Because all this information could be real or all it could be fake. We don't know. Also, I don't want the Nintendo Yakuza to come find me while I'm sleeping and put a blade in my throat on some Assassin's Creed 9 shit. This is all fake. Treat all of this like it's fake. Put some grains of salt in your mouth and take it with this, okay? That's what I need y'all to do right now. About another set of Nintendo announcements focused on the current Switch happening before April. While there's only a few days left at March, it's not completely out of the question. I imagine the company signaling what owners of the current hardware can expect for the next few months. Following last week's arrival of Xenoblade X, there's nothing left on Switch 2025 roadmap besides Metroid Prime 4, Beyond, and Pokemon. Roll another one. ZA, and neither one of those actually have release dates yet. I don't think they're gonna get them this year either. Well, I don't think Metroid Prime is gonna get it this year, and Pokemon Legends, we'll see. Nintendo's financial quarter ends on the 31st of March. Maybe they'll decide to sneak a few low-key announcements in before then. After that, the Nintendo Direct is going on April 2nd. Let me make sure I have an alarm set for it. At 9 a.m. Alright. Oh no, I already have it scheduled. Did not forget. And it's at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I definitely will be reading an article about that. Now, again, even though we've seen developers actually come out and say and talk about this, technically this is a rumor. Treat everything like it, you taking it with a grain of salt, alright? And is this a discussion post or an actual post? Oh no, a discussion post. 3 major publishers are ready to delay their upcoming games to avoid launching at around the same time as GTA 6, claims a new report. And I'm not gonna lie, that sounds kind of stupid. It sounds like you want to drop before GTA 6. Like, if you don't want your game to get concorded, you basically gotta drop that bitch now. Right now. And if you don't drop that bitch right now, you're gonna have to wait 6 months. Cause I promise you, if that shit drops in September, nigga, nobody's playing your game in November. Nigga, nobody's playing your game in December. Nigga, nobody's playing your game in January, February. Nobody's playing your shit in March, bruh. GTA 6 is a game niggas have legitimately waited like 10 years for. A lot of people who are even hardcore gaming enthusiasts are not getting off that shit for a good 6 months. And especially if it costs $100, oh, that sunken cost fallacy finna beat the fuck out of people. And they finna make every justification and reason in the world as to why they should never get the fuck off Grand Theft Auto 6. Because they've been like, yo, I've been waiting over 10 years for this game, and I paid an absurd amount of money for this game. I'm not getting the fuck off this game for the next 6 months. And if that bitch drop in November, December, niggas ain't getting on your game. January, niggas ain't getting on your game. February, niggas ain't getting on your game. March, niggas ain't getting on your game. May, niggas ain't getting on your game. And April, niggas ain't playing your game. So the best time to drop a game in 2025, in my opinion, is before August. If GTA 6 drops this year, you better drop your game either now, between now and August. And the closer to today, the better. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's very few games that very few people would hop off of GTA 6 for. And I'm talking about the people who are likely to play GTA 6 are very, very stubborn. Like I said, this game is being rumored to cost $100. Niggas not getting off Grand Theft Auto for your game. I'm sorry, they're not. You could be all butthurt. You could be all, but my game has great offerings. Niggas don't care about your game's offerings. Nigga, is it GTA 6? Have we been waiting 10 plus years to see your game? No, nigga. We didn't even know your shit was coming out till it came out, respectfully. We've been waiting for this shit to come out since 2013. That's what? 13, 14, 15. That's 11 years, bro. I mean 12 years. Well, 11 full years, going on 12 years, waiting for this fucking game to come out. Some publishers are formulating multiple release strategies depending on when Rockstar plans to launch GTA 6, which none of them know because they were fucking Rockstar, Take-Two, all of them refuse to give us a date. And major content updates for live service titles are being delayed too. Why would you delay an update for a live service title if you don't drop that bitch now? Drop that shit as soon as you got it ready, because after you drop that update, you cannot guarantee that you will keep players on. And I swear to you, if you drop an update in the same release window as Grand Theft Auto 6, you just dropped an update to half a player base, because that, guess where they're going? The game they waited 10 plus years for. Major content updates for live service titles are being delayed too. There's also a latent fear that Rockstar may push GTA 6 to 2026, which would further complicate release schedules for publishers. GTA, they keeping that release date close to their chest, and they like, hey, bitch ass nigga, drop your game. Drop your game. But I don't want to drop at the same time as you, yo. Don't worry about when I'm dropping. You drop your game. But I don't want the competition. I don't want the smoke. No. You don't want it, but we do. Drop your game. Drop your game. It don't matter if GTA 6 is a 6 out of 10. Niggas is not playing a lot of other games for GTA 6. They're gonna make up justifications to make this game seem better than it really is if it comes out and after 10 years and it's a 6 out of 10 and we find out that bitch went through development hell. Speaking of development hell, let's talk about how Dwarf Fortress, a game I've never heard of, but the creator of, said they're so tired of hearing about AI because press a button and it writes a really shitty wrong essay about something and they still take your job. Which is something I'm seeing a lot of people in the tech sector be upset about, because it's very true. A lot of people are losing their jobs and getting their industries collapse and downsize for AI. For example, there was a story either in 2023 or 2024 about how Duolingo fired damn near all of their translation staff because they're like, oh, we could just rely on AI translations and it's 100 times cheaper. We don't actually need physical people to sit there and translate anything anymore. And they whole section of, like, apparently there used to be a section of the app where people could talk in English about different linguistic nuances. Well, talk in native languages about the linguistic nuances of learning the difference between your language and another language. So for example, if you speak English, in Spanish, the way that they put adjectives is different. So for example, if I wanted to say, damn, what's the word for shoe in Spanish? Hold on. Because I forgot it. Shoe in Spanish. Zapato, boom. So I know this is a boot, but you're gonna understand the example. So instead of saying azul, like in English, you would say orange, black, and blue boot, right? The boot is orange, black, and blue, right? Oh wait, y'all can't see it. The boot is orange, you know, that, black, and then blue. So in English, you would say orange, black, and blue shoe. But in Spanish, you would say zapatos, negro, naranja y azul. You would say the and like it feels even weird to say that sentence like that, but you put the descriptors for something after what the something is, versus in English it's reversed. That section, you used to be able to have conversations with people who fluently speak both languages, who could explain and talk about what it is and what it's like to understand the different linguistic nuances and to learn and unlearn different habits that make it easier to fluently speak that said language. They got rid of that whole section of Duolingo from what I heard, because like I said, they got the AI translations now. They just throw it in AI and ask AI. They fired a whole department with from what I remember hearing, thousands of employees across the world for shitty AI translations. But let's read into his quote. Specifically, Big Bro said, "I'm just depressed for everyone that's out of work." Me too, bruh. He admits taking a tired and long view of a situation that hasn't exactly improved since. The whole funding situation for everyone I'm talking to is just very hard to get things going out there. Yeah, that the way they ended that, like split this up, fried my brain for a second. Anyway, part of that, Adam surmises, is generative AI and deep learning nonsense. Don't like AI everywhere. It's kind of depressing. Yeah, because it has like some things that is useful for, but like I always explain, a lot of people don't actually understand AI, and they look at it as like this magical do everything for me tool, when it's like, no, a hammer doesn't build a house. A hammer assists you in putting together a house. Like if you want to hang a picture up, a hammer by itself doesn't hang up the picture on the wall. You don't take a hammer and just pink and the picture just goes on the wall. No, you have to get a nail on the wall. You have to understand what type of drywall you're doing. You have to get a nail fastener. You have to put the nail in the right angle so that you can hang up the picture. You can't just smack a hammer against a picture and it puts the damn picture on the wall. You got to actually know how to use the hammer. You got to know what tools to use to assist the hammer. A lot of people think AI is this magical catch-all tool that just does shit for them. No, it assists you. AI is not supposed to write your essay. It's supposed to give you an idea of where to start from. It's supposed to give you an outline, a rubric. Instead of you having to sit down and write that outline, you put the facts in the AI and AI will go, oh, it will be, I think personally, even though it's not a person, it would be best to organize it like this. And you, as a person, are supposed to look at it and say, okay, I like this part, I like this part, I don't like that part, so I'm gonna switch that around and put that part here. It's supposed to get things going. It's supposed to help the wheels turn easier. But a lot of people, instead of getting it to get the wheels turning, they use it as the whole machine when it's only supposed to be a part in the machine. And a lot of these old fucking farts don't understand that. They just see AI and they just go, wait, so you telling me I'm hiring writers and AI will write a script for me for free or for significantly cheaper than these people? And if I don't like the script it puts out, I just gotta type in some words and say I don't like that, and it rewrites the script, no questions asked? What? Fucking, that's cool. Why am I spending 30,000-40,000 on these writers when I could pay $100 a year and get infinite amount of scripts, and all I gotta do is just choose? And when I give notes, ain't no arguments, ain't no pushbacks on those notes. This shit just rewrites it with my notes in mind. Oh yeah, fire all them writers, fire all them niggas. And I don't have to treat this shit like, I don't have to give this thing rights. I don't have to worry about this thing going to sleep, not being ready when I'm not ready. Oh yeah, fire all them niggas, get them the fuck up out of here. But it's like the human element to those scripts is what make them good. Like AI can algorithmize stuff all at once, but if you're not a good writer, or if you're not able to like curate a good anything, you're cooked anyway. The script could be ass. You don't know better. You just want AI script, gimme. So you're gonna get a shit script and you're gonna get shit results with that shit script. He adds, but there's always something. I mean, every one of these events you go to, it's AI, blockchain, VR. Oh, damn, why this nigga got beef with VR? With VR, obviously, there's some cool stuff that happened there, but still, it's the immense attention being paid by people that just want to get something for nothing. Basically, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. Starting a sentence off with a conjunction, you could have just put and regularly. And the spirit continues on to this day. Like I keep saying, it's a lot of laziness fueled by ignorance. He's not entirely wrong. Alongside the existential threat it poses to artists of all stripes, including VAs who are in a prolonged union battle with certain studios. Yeah, because there's a lot of studios like, yo, why are we paying you X amount of dollars to come to the studio and give us voice lines, and we only got 4 or 5 hours to work with you for, let's say, $4,000, $1,000 an hour, when we could record some voice lines with you, have a voice AI model, be trained off of your voice, and then we spend you, instead of spending $4,000 for you to come in the studio for 4 hours at a time and record a couple voice lines, and if we want you to come back, we got to pay you another $4,000, or we got to try and squeeze in everything in today's 4 hours. We hire you for an hour, we train an AI on your voice, and then we just tell the AI to make your voice over and over. Like, as a company, that seems like a cool idea, but it's like, as a person who enjoys media, it's like, no, that's not a cool idea. The fuck are you doing? And even worse, as a voice actor, the machines, the robots are literally You are literally training your replacement to take your job. And if you were training a person to be your replacement, it's cool because that's just called passing down the torch. But training a robot to do your job, there's no torch to pass down. People in the future who want to become voice actors are fucked if you do that, because you're giving their future job to a robot. And also, even if you don't give a fuck about the robot, nigga, what about me? How am I gonna eat if I'm just training robots on my voice? What if these studios start saying, you know what, instead of hiring that person to come in and do a voice, we'll just start licensing and selling out their voice through the voice AI model that we got. So now it gets to a point to where every game got the same 5 voice actors, and all the studios are doing are selling around the different voices to people. People start licensing out AI voice model. Like, it can get nasty, and that's what they fighting to prevent. And trust me, you don't want to hear the same voice actor all the time, because like, it's cool every once in a while, but after a while it fucks up the immersion, because you start profiling a certain voice and it becomes harder to take certain things serious, because you'll be like, yo, I seen you in this role, I can't think of you as this, and then like, it can mess up the immersion. So it's like, you don't want that to happen, bro. AI also happens to just be like annoying. It's pushed in annoying ways. Again, laziness fueled by ignorance. It comes and goes in annoying projects that never go anywhere. Snake oil salesman. Why would you put a comma before and? It's a conjunction. It's hailed as the next big thing in annoying speeches whose prophecies never materialize. Just ask Star besieged hardware team. Jacob Ridley noted as early as last year, stamping the catch-all term of AI onto a product may as well be meaningless. Yeah, it's a buzzword now. Like, what it actually means and what people perceive it to mean are two different things. Because a lot of people who don't know a goddamn thing about AI hear AI and they have this magical perception in their head that's based off of the Jetsons or some shit. It's not based off of reality. Venture capital black box that's slowly cooking our planet hardly rolls off the tongue. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff Adams adds. I'm sure there are some kind of productivity thing you could get from that or whatever. I know people that do that. Yeah, it's not the type of stuff I'm interested in. It's an interesting conundrum for Adam though, because Dwarf Fortress is so dominated by procedural generation, which is another thing that, fueled by ignorance, people think is an AI thing. No, procedural generation is something separate from AI. And a lot of people, till like 2020, 2021, a lot of people weren't really aware that a lot of things they use AI. If you play video games, the way that the enemies in a video game interact, the way that the tiles in the game spawn. 1 second. Hey, sir. Yes, you. We had a deal over here. You getting up all slow, trying to relish the time. Come here, sir. Up there. Well, if you want to go on that way, that is fine. Hey, at least you're being a big boy. I remember when you used to be scared to sit on the bed. That used to be fucking funny. Anyway, anytime you playing a match 3 game and the game needs to decide what tiles to send you next, that's AI. Anytime you're on like a website and it has a chat bot based off of like pre-made responses, even though that's a low level of AI compared to what we're used to now, that was AI. A lot of you were using AI for a very long time, but you just didn't notice it because the term wasn't thrown in your face. It's the same thing I say about like betas with Call of Duty. Like, beta used to mean that you really had insider early access to a game to play it for how do I put it? Like, for testing purposes, to see what the quality of the game was, to give the developers feedback so they could fix up things or put some polish on things that aren't so polished. That's what genuinely a beta was. Now, because of games like Call of Duty, games will be like, oh, we're dropping a game in a week. Here's the week early beta. Like, no, bro, if you're dropping a game, if you make a beta for a game and the game is dropping in a week, nigga, that's not a beta, that's a demo. Same thing in this situation. A lot of people don't understand They just hear a buzzword and they go, ooh, and they feel special about it when it's like, no, bruh, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know nothing about what you're talking about. While generative AI and procedural generation aren't even technological cousins, they're very heavily associated with each other now. They can sometimes do very similar tasks, though, in my understanding. All right. AI can deal with procedural generation. Procedural generation doesn't have to deal with AI, if that makes sense. Like it's one of those things where they can be independent or they could go hand in hand equally as much as the other option. Though in my understanding, you have a little more control over a procedural generator's output. That is true. You can refine the inputs and basically say, I want results closer to this result that you gave me. And you can give it rubrics and guidelines more so than with AI. Like the general LLM term that we know now. AIs are sometimes liable to hallucinate something out of whack. Yeah, AI have been hallucinating for a very long time. For example, when you play a video game and randomly one of the enemies just starts running into a wall. Or for example, whenever you play a Ubisoft game and the enemy is looking right at you, you're standing right in front of the enemy 10 toes down with a knife, and it must have been the wind. Or even in like Grand Theft Auto, when you're walking by NPCs and they randomly just punch you in the throat. They're not always supposed to do that, but sometimes they do. That's what happens when an AI glitches, or in this case, the new term for it is hallucinate, because the LLM model gives people a perception like they're talking to a person, yada, yada, yada. And that being said, I want to leave it off with one last final thing. First thing I want to say is Dexterito. Why did you add this part? Why, like, no music, no gimmicks, no funny shit. Why did you add this part? You could have just said that Smash Bros. Melee Pro Hacks Money passed away at the age of 30, which, by the way, my condolences. I fucked with watching this gameplay just as much as others. Without going into the history, for those of you who don't know, he caught a ban in the Melee community. So long story short, if he showed up at a Melee, like a tournament for Smash Bros. Melee, they basically would have said, get the fuck out now, and pointed to the door and like cursed him out on the way out, like, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. Basically, like, that was the type time he was on. It's a whole bunch of history with this situation. You could look up a technical videos or somebody like that that'll give you more context to the situation. But just basically know, at first it kind of made sense, but then over time it was revealed to be bullshit. Anyway, that being put to the side, sadly, he passed away. Sending my condolences. And crazy part is, he passed away at age 30. That's not a young age to be passing away, man. I mean, that's not a old age or like a normal age to be passing away. Like 30 is crazy. Still don't know the cause of death, and even if I did, I wouldn't share it. Doesn't fucking matter. If somebody passes away, they passes away. My condolences. Otherwise, if you're staying for the stream, just keep reloading your mother effing tab. I will be back in about 2 seconds. Just setting up the TikTok stream.